Hey, what's going on, YouTube? This is Ade'Kamil. I'm back with another episode of Kelly Signings. What I want to do this episode is going to be a part of a series that I want to do, just explaining the loan process and navigating through documents. So this first video, walkthrough or whatever I shall call it, will be the closing disclosure. Cue the music. All right, let's get right into it. So I'm going to share my screen. Share screen. All right, so here we are. This is Kelly Signings, and this is the closing disclosure. I'm not sure if it's a lot of, I haven't seen any videos of any closers that go document by document helping people out. Please link me if you have those videos. But as I learn, we all learn together. So yeah, let's go right through it. Let me be able to annotate. So as you can see, this is the closing disclosure. Let me find the arrow. All right, cool. So right here we have the closing disclosure. Now this is going to be a very important document. This is something that the borrower or the signer should have a general idea of. It could have changed to any degree of variance prior to the closing. So be aware of that. So make sure you talk to the title company. Make sure you talk to the signing company in regards to the information about the closing disclosure. So up top, what you want to pay attention to is the date issued, the closing date, and the disbursement date. So for purchases, the disbursement date will be the same day. 10 times out of 10, I have never seen anything different. For refinances, the closing date and the disbursement date will be different by 3 days. So you can see here is for the 15th. If it was a refinance, this date would be the 18th. So the information that we have is the borrower, their name and address, the seller, their name and address, and the lender. Oh, that's a little far. And we have the lender. Continuing, we have the loan terms. So usually it's 30 years. I've not seen 15 years, but you can definitely get a loan that's 15 years. So I realized while I was recording, I forgot to point out that the property is also listed right here in the closing disclosure. Yeah, my bad about that. Up next, we have the loan terms. This is one of the most important aspects of this document. And basically what I do is I just regurgitate what I see and make sure that it match the last thing that the borrower agreed to. So we're going to check for the loan amount. We're going to check for the interest rate, monthly principal, and interest. Then we're going to alert them if it's a prepayment penalty. I think that varies. I've not seen that. I'm in New Jersey, so maybe it's different here. So I explained to them, there's no prepayment penalty. So if you pay off your loan sooner than 30 years, you are not going to face any penalty. You can see here in this example, this sample that I found, there is a prepayment penalty as high as $32.40 if you pay the loan off during the first 2 years. So I think after the first 2 years, that may go away. So you can just double check. And then we have the projected payments. You just alert them what will be coming from the insurance and the escrow. Escrow is right here. That's usually property taxes, homeowner insurance, and any homeowner association dues. And then we have the closing costs and the cash to close. Now, the cash to close is the most important thing on this first page because that is what you collect. You can't go forward unless you got the money. You can't go forward unless you got the money. So if this was a closing, this borrower would have a check for $14,147.26, or they should have wired that money to the lender, and then you would check for a wire confirmation. So continuing to the next page, let me stop annotating really quick and get right back to it. There we go. All right, next we have the closing cost detail. And this is basically all the fees associated with the loans. So what you're going to explain to them, you can see these dollar amounts right here. The math is a little funny because you're adding up. So you're going to take these three amounts. This is the loan amount, points, the application fee, underwriting fee. These will be the origination costs. You know, I'm not big into the details of all of that yet. I will eventually grow. Pause. One thing I want to point out is that there will be two sides. There will be what the borrower paid and what's due for them, and what the seller paid and what's due for them and what's paid by others. Others is usually lender credits. So the first one is the origination charges. You're going to take these three items and add up. Next, you have services that the borrower did not shop for: appraisal free, credit, flood determination, tax fee. You're going to take these items. You can see here they paid this amount. This looks like $29.80 before the closing. Then you're going to add up. Then you're going to do the same thing for C. This C is usually the title company charges. So once you get all three of these, you're going to have this amount for the total loan cost. Then you're going to break down the other costs, which are taxes and government fees. You know, they always get their cut. You're going to take this amount and add up. Prepaids, homeowner insurance, prepaid taxes, prepaid interest. You're going to take those items and add up. The initial escrow payment, you're going to take those items and add up. And then the other are the home association fees and things like that. And you're going to add up. You're going to keep doing this until we get to the next page. Give me 1 second. All right. And then we're going to calculate the cash to close. So those are all of those things. Let me just get my, there's going to be all those things that we've seen on the last page, and it's going to come to this amount, $14,147.26. Now, sometimes you may be issued just a final lender CD, and you won't see the loan estimate. So the loan estimate is basically what they've seen in the beginning, and the final CD is what are actually going to be their terms. And then the next is the summary of transactions. So total due from borrower at closing is this amount. And then you're just going to go down. You see adjustments for items paid by the seller in advance. That will be here. Items paid on behalf of the borrower at closing. And then eventually you're going to get all the way down to the calculation of the cash to close from the borrower. So they have to put down this amount. And sometimes, depending on if you work for a title company or if you're dealing with seller docs, you're going to need this information as well, the cash to the seller. And that's how much the seller will get from the purchase. The rest of the CD, and this is page 3. The rest is additional information about the loan, whether or not there's an assumption on the loan. Let me just annotate. I'm not sure. Oh, wait. Let me go back. Sorry about that. I don't know if y'all can see the mouse or not. That's why I'm going to just use this. So basically you have the assumption. So if you handed over the loan, you would assume all of the responsibilities. If that person did not pay the loan, you will be liable for it too. Late payment, and some of the stuff you're going to explain in other documents, i.e. the note, mortgage, and different things like that. So late payment, is typically 15 days with a 5% charge. Negative amortization, they don't have this feature. Partial payments, some lenders accept partial payments, others don't. So you want to look at that as well as you're explaining the CD. Let's see. And then the last page is the most important page for you as a closing agent, because this is the signature page. You have to make sure they sign and date. Let me get my annotation one more time. Let me see. Yeah. All right. So you're going to go through all of this. They're going to say, hey, Mr. Closer, hey, Mrs. Closer, everything looks great. You're going to say, okay, perfect. I need you to sign right here and then date right here. If it's a co-borrower, you should have 2 CDs. And then you're going to sign right here and date right here. And then you're going to be done. And you're going to be like, oh, my gosh, I got through the closing disclosure. So I want to continue this. Let me stop sharing the screen and look at you guys. I want to continue to do this as far as, go over the documents. It wasn't done for me. I didn't see a lot, so I just want to be able to do that for the people. I appreciate all of the support. Drop a comment if you have gone over a CD before or if you have not. So we're going to keep doing this. And like I said, I just appreciate it. So I'm signing off in due time.